everybody, my name is Mars. You can call me MG if you'd like, and today I have what I think at least is a very fun video. So I decided that my first read for 2024 was going to be decided by a scavenger hunt. Now this is not a new idea, I definitely did not come up with this. People have been doing this for years to pick either their first read of the year or of the month or just the next book they're gonna read, and I just always think it's so much fun, so I decided to do it myself. The set of questions I've actually taken from Kayla over at Books and Lala. She does this every year, I think, and I just really liked the questions. I did look them over, but I didn't pick anything for them, so I just wanted to familiarize myself a little bit, and I'm very excited. I do have a list of 6 books that are already on my TBR for the month, so if I can pick one of those to be the first read, that'd be great. If not, it's no big deal. I can just pick a different book based on these questions. We'll just see how it goes. So the first question I actually did already pick a book for. I know I said I didn't, but the first question is just grab your favorite book. So I have The Bone Houses by Emily Lloyd-Jones. And it says to go to the acknowledgements, and the first name you see, find a book by an author with that name. So we're gonna flip to the acknowledgements, and we have Lloyd Alexander is the first name that I see. Okay, that's interesting. So Lloyd Alexander is the author of the Chronicles of Prydain, and I do own one of his books. I own the Book of Three, which is the first book in that series. Probably more commonly known for the second book in the series, which is The Black Cauldron. But yeah, so Lloyd Alexander. I guess I will go grab the book that I have by him to do the second question. Okay, so here we have the Book of Three. I love this cover. I love the metallic edge to it. I think it's so pretty. But the prompt for this next book is to pick something on the cover and find another book with that thing in the title. Okay, so what do we have on the cover? Let me show you. Ooh, there's a big glare from my computer. That's fine. We have the Horned King on a horse. He's called the Horned King in this book, but he has antlers, so that's kind of stupid in my opinion. But so we have like a man on a horse. He's got a sword. He's wearing a skull mask that has antlers. I think these are ghosts. They look kind of ghostly to me. We've got a boy. They're in the woods, so there's trees. So if I have anything that has like ghost, man, horse, sword, boy, tree, anything like that. We also have these little icons in the corners. So we have a cauldron, a pig, and a harp. I don't think I have books with any of those words in the title, but I'm going to go scour my shelf for things and find something to bring for the next question. Okay, so I have decided to go with The Horse and His Boy by C.S. Lewis because on the cover there was a horse and there was a boy, so there's actually neither of those on this cover, which I think is funny, but they're in the title, and that's what the prompt was. So the next step in this scavenger hunt is to go to page 50, line 5. So I will do that. Ooh, page 50 is the end of a chapter, so we actually don't have a ton of lines, but 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Pick a word from that line and find a title with that word. So line 5 says, possibly can. If not, meet at the tombs of the ancient kings. Okay, so we have meat would probably be in a title. Tombs, ancient kings, those are all good words. I will see what I can do. Okay, that was actually a lot easier than I thought it would be. I have gone with the Kings of Clonmel because Kings was on that line. And this is what number are you? 8. This is the 8th book in the Ranger's Apprentice series, and it's one of my favorite in the series. I really like this one. But the prompt based off of this book is to find a 5-star read with the same colors on the cover. So I don't rate out of 5 stars, I rate out of 10 stars. For this, I'm just going to find a book that I really loved that has these same colors. So we've got a lot of blue and green here. We've also got some silver, and then the lettering is like a yellow gold color. So I think we're gonna focus on the blue and green, and then if it has silver and this golden color, that would be just a bonus. But I am gonna go find a blue-green book for you guys. So the book that I have found that's blue and green and also has quite a bit of silver on it is The Navigator by Owen McNamee. This is the first book in the Navigator trilogy. It's really good. If you're into like sci-fi middle grade, I would recommend this one. I've had this book since I was in 5th grade and I love it so much. But the prompt now is to find a book with the same number of pages. So let's see how many pages this book has. It does look very like standardly sized. It's not too big or too little, so I should be able to find something. So this has 342 pages. So I'm going to try and find a book that is as close to 342 as I can get. If I can't find anything exact, then I'm okay with that, as long as I can get close to 342. Alright, I have fudged things a little bit. So The Navigator was 342 pages. The book that I found is 324, but I think that's close enough. So the book I have pulled is Neverworld Wake by Marisha Pessl, and like I said, it's 324 pages. The prompt now to get the next book is to flip open to any page, and the first name I see, find a book by an author who shares that name. So I don't remember any of the names of the characters in this book, so we might find an easy thing, we might find a hard one. So let's go with here. First name I see, Jim. Jim? I can't think of any authors I have that are named Jim. Ooh. We'll pick another name, and if I can think of something off the top of my head there, then we'll go with that, because I know my shelves very well, and I genuinely can't think of anybody named Jim. Okay, well, we'll just pick a different name. Here we have Howard and Martha. I saw at the same time because they're in the same sentence, so can't think of those names either. These are hard. Ooh. I'll keep going until I find a name that I recognize, and if I can't find one, then I will just find a close enough name. Here, okay, this name I saw was Elvis. Elvis is not an author that I have on my shelf. I don't even know if he's an author. We have B, like B-E-E. There are no names in here. Steven Spielberg? That's okay. Cannon? Who's Cannon? That's not a name. And Kip? These are terrible names. Let's flip more forward. Darrow is also not like a name. Beatrice? There's Jim again? Okay. I'm just going to go look at my shelves for a while, and if any of those names are there, then we'll go with it, and if not, I'll find something similar. Okay, I may be fudging things once more, but remember how one of the names that I saw was Steven Spielberg? Well, I don't have a book by Steven Spielberg, but I do have a book by Stephen King. This is Desperation. She's thick. She's the only Stephen King book that I own, but yeah, I looked at my shelves for a long while, and I could find no Jim, no Beatrice, no nothing, but Stephen. It wasn't the first name I found, but it was a name that I found, so this is what we've pulled. And the prompt going off of this book is to find another title with the same number of letters as this title. So Desperation is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. I think that should be hopefully fairly easy to find, but we shall see. I will go find a book with 11 letters in the title. That was actually extremely easy. It was the first book that I counted the title for, and that is Inheritance by Christopher Paolini. So you see, Inheritance has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So it matches. And it's quite another thick book. I'm glad that I don't have to read these actual books because that would take forever. This is just to find one book at the end of the line, which we're almost there. We only have a couple of more prompts. So the prompt going off of this book is to find a book with a similar cover. So here we have a very close-up of the dragon, and it's very green. That's another feature of it. And there's not really much else going on. And I could probably just pull one of the other Inheritance Cycle books because they all have these like close-ups of dragons on them, but I think that's cheating. So I'm going to try and find something else. So something dragony and something green. So I will be right back. Alrighty, so the book that I picked doesn't quite match exactly the cover of Inheritance, but I think it's got the same vibes. So the book that I have gone with is Dragon Slippers by Jessica Day George, and you know, it's got this dragon. It's not quite zoomed in, but like we have a dragon taking up most of the cover, and there's like a little bit of green. The main character's dress is green, so like it's fine. I looked at all of my dragon books, and this was like the closest match. It was between this and The Lost Hero by Rick Riordan, which actually is a very similar cover to this. So if I had to find a similar cover to this, I could have pulled that. But this is the one that I have gone with because it just seemed the most zoomed in of the dragons, and it actually had a little bit of green on it, whereas the others didn't really. Prior of the Orange Tree is like all yellow and orange with a blue dragon very small on it. And then I had Before She Ignites by Jody Meadows, which doesn't even have a dragon on it, but it is a dragon book. So we've gone with Dragon Slippers, and the last prompt in order to find the book that I'll be reading is to flip to a random page, point to a word, and find that word in a book title on your TBR shelf. So I have 29 books on my TBR shelf, and I can't read most of them. So I have a lot of series, so I can't really read like later books in series. And then I also have plans for a lot of books to like read later on in the year. So we're gonna see how well this goes. We're going to open to a random page, and I'm not gonna look. The word we're going with is town. Let me look back at my shelf really quickly. I don't have a book with the word town. Oh, I had papers in there apparently. Did not know that. They just fell out and scared me. So we'll go here, and if we can't find one after a couple of words on my physical shelf, I will go to like Everand and find an ebook, which I feel like is a little anticlimactic, but I will do what needs to be done. I'm gonna find another word here. And oh, I'm in the middle of two words. So I have C, S-E-E, and I have two, T-O. I'm gonna look back again. I can't read my shelf from here. I don't know. Also, I just realized that I could have gone with ancient for that other prompt where I used kings because I have the Rime of the Ancient Mariner on there. We're gonna try this one more time. Let's go closer to the beginning and go with a word here. And. Well, actually, it was kind of on and kind of on I, which are also words I don't. Actually, I have a couple of books that are like and other stories, and then I have some other things, and I think I can work with. Give me a moment. I'm gonna go find a book with and in the title, because I think that's the only one that I actually have something that would match, so I will be right back. Alright, I have 3 books from my shelf that all have and in the title, so I'm gonna show them to you, and then I think I'm going to put up a poll on my Instagram to have the populace decide which of these books I'm gonna read, because I am filming this on the 31st, so I'm not gonna start reading it until tomorrow anyway. So my 3 options are Young Goodman Brown and Other Short Stories by Nathaniel Hawthorne. Then we have The Rime of the Ancient Mariner, which I mentioned because it's and Other Poems by Samuel Taylor Coleridge. And then finally we have Myths and Legends of the Middle Ages by H.A. Guerber. Now, none of these are books that I probably would have picked for myself for the first read, but I think they would be interesting no matter which one I ended up with, because we have poetry, which I love, short stories, which I've been getting into more often, and this is also short stories, but it's like Middle Ages, so like King Arthur and stuff, which I really like. And also these book pages in this book are just gorgeous. They have this like, ooh, I almost dropped the other books off my lap. This border. And so we have like Beowulf is in here, which I actually have already read. If I can flip to the table of contents, we've got the story of the Holy Grail, we've got Merlin, we've got the Round Table. So like, I really like Middle Ages stories. I think they're really cool. So this would be a good one, but I also wouldn't be mad if these two, like one of them got picked. So I'm gonna put up a poll, and I will come back to you either tonight or tomorrow to tell you which one won, and then the rest of the video is just going to be me vlogging my experience of reading it. So yeah, this took me on quite a wild ride. I didn't expect these to be my options, but I'm not mad about it. So I will leave you here for now and go put up that poll, and I will see you guys in a little while. Hello friends, it is 10:30 a.m. on January 1st. Happy 2024, everyone. I didn't update you guys yesterday because I was dead tired. I'm usually in bed by like 10:30 at the latest, and that last hour and a half of staying up for the new year absolutely drained me. I was so tired. I ended up sleeping in this morning, but I'm awake now. I'm out of bed. I've showered, as you can probably tell. So I'm doing a little better. I'm still very like low energy though. But I wanted to tell you guys the book that won the poll. Be reading Myths and Legends of the Middle Ages for my first book of 2024. Not the vibe I envisioned when I decided to make this vlog, but you know, I'm here for it. So there are 17 short stories in here. Ooh, there's a list of illustrations. That's fun. Oh gosh, it's Roman numerals. XVII. Yeah, 17 plus an introduction, so there's like 18 chapters, I guess. So, let's see. Today's Monday. This video is going up on Friday. So ideally, I would want it to be done Thursday at the latest. But if I can get it done by Wednesday, that'd be even better. So, that's 3 days. Oh, that divides beautifully, so I have to read 6 chapters or stories a day, which I think is very doable. This isn't very long, and I'm very excited to be reading this, so I think I can do that. I am just doing a very chill morning. I do have quite a few things to get done today, but I'm letting myself move slowly, so I think starting off with a little bit of reading is definitely the move. So yeah, oh, I love this cover. Isn't this just stunning? I should face this out on the shelf when I put it back on my read books shelf. So yeah, I'm going to get started on reading, and I will give you an update probably at the end of the day, I think, instead of updating after every story. That just seems a little bit like overkill. Hello friends. I'm very tired. It is just about 10:30 p.m., so normally I would have gone to bed about half an hour ago, but I stayed up a little bit later because I was reading, and I am now this far in. I have in fact read the introduction and the first 5 stories, and I'm having a great time. I really like the writing style of this author, so it's not just like translations of these old stories. If I can show you, like here, it has like the author explaining the story in like her own words, and then it gives quotes of translation, which I really like. Also, this is just like the most beautiful book ever, so you can see it has like this border on all of the pages, and I don't know if you can tell in the video, but the font of like the paragraph text isn't black. It's like a nice soft brown that really complements the page being like this cream color, and then like the actual translated bits are in black. There's also these illustrations every couple of pages. I don't really know. Yeah, it's just so pretty. Like the table of contents has this illustration. I love it so much. But yeah, I'm having a really good time. I actually Googled the author. So H.A. Guerber is an author from the late 1800s, early 1900s. So this book was actually originally published in, I think it said 1910. But the author, whose first name is Helene, she was born in, I think it said Minnesota, but then lived on the East Coast her entire life in New York. And then when her parents died, her and her sister moved to Montclair, New Jersey, which is not far from where I grew up. It's like maybe a 20-30 minute drive, so very local to where I grew up, which I thought was really cool. And like not really anything else is known about her. Like she has a Wikipedia page and it just gives that information. We know a little bit about like what her dad did for a living, but like not a whole lot is known about her despite the fact that she's written so many books. So like there's this one. She also had similar books about Greek and Roman mythology, but like dozens of books. And I kind of want to get the rest of her books. I don't think I'd be able to get matching editions. This edition that I have is from, the little logo says FR. Let's go to the, what is this called? What is this page called? Copyright page? I think that's what it is. Fall River Press, which is a trademark of Barnes & Noble Inc. Interesting. Originally published in 1896, but this edition is from 2015. So, it's older than I thought. I thought this was one of the ones from the early 1900s. I don't know. I'm having a really good time reading this though. So tomorrow I will read the next 6 stories. Let's see if there's any that I recognize. So this one, the only one that I recognized was Beowulf. The next one, like little section, there's a story about Charlemagne. And I don't recognize any of the rest. But then the last group, there's the Holy Grail, there's Merlin, there's the Round Table, and there's Tristan and Isolde. So I know several of those. But yeah, not what I would have picked for my first read, but I'm glad this was my first read nonetheless. It's really fun. So now I am going to stop rambling and I'm going to get to bed because I'm very tired, and I will see you guys tomorrow. Hello friends, it is about 8:30 p.m. on the 2nd, and I'm here to give you my update. I've read the next 6 stories in here, and I'm still having a good time. I think I liked the first section a little bit better. Oh, hey, Chloe, I didn't know you were under the bed. Weird. I think I just like the first few stories a little bit better. These ones in the middle were more like histories, and they just weren't as fun to me. I think I'm gonna keep reading tonight because, like I said, it's only 8:30, and I could knock out a couple more of these. I'm very excited to keep going and read the last few. Chloe has just closed us in the bedroom. I'm gonna go open the door to let her out, and I will see you guys tomorrow. Good morning, friends. It is just past 7:30 in the morning on January 3rd. don't ask why I'm up this early. My brain was just like, well, you're gonna wake up and you're gonna feel rested, so you're gonna get to bed. And I'm like, okay, I guess. So I'm here. I did end up reading a little bit more of Myths and Legends yesterday, so I'm now this far in. I've got about 70 pages left, and I figure what better way to start my morning than with some nice chill reading. So that's what I'm going to do. The 2 stories that I read last night after I updated you, I actually really enjoyed. It was The Round Table was one of them. I'm just gonna open to the table of contents to try to flip through pages. And Merlin. So like Arthurian stuff. That's stuff that I like kind of already knew because I've read Arthurian books before. But the next story is Tristan and Isolde, which I've also heard of before. And then the last few I have not heard of. So I'm excited to finish up this book. But also I do have one more update. So I told you how the font was what's it called? Brown. And then this part was black. I lied. It's literally just the page numbers and the headers that are black. This is a dark blue. And it took me till like 2/3 of the way into the book to realize. But it matches the like blue coloring in the border. So really cool choices made with this book. So I'm just going to get reading, and I guess I will update you at the end because I only have 70 pages left, so I will see you guys then. Hello friends, it has been just about an hour and I have finished Myths and Legends of the Middle Ages. This was so fun. I really enjoyed this book. I had a great time, and I may have been looking online for other books by this author. I didn't buy any, but I've been looking because I really liked this writing style and how the stories were like written in a way that was very easy to understand, but also had excerpts of more literal translations so that you could see the language that would be used. And I just really enjoyed reading it that way. So we had mostly Germanic stories, and then we got into Arthurian legends, and then there was one story at the end that was like a Norse saga, and then we had one story at the end that was about a Spanish hero from the Middle Ages, I guess. And I'm very excited to have finished my first book, and I'm glad that it's one that I really enjoyed, even if it is one that I really didn't expect to pick up. But yeah, the scavenger hunt did me a solid there. So I guess that's the end of this vlog because I finished the book. Yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed watching this as much as I enjoyed reading this book. If you did, please be sure to give this video a big thumbs up. You can subscribe to my channel for more content. That way I'll see you guys in the next one. Goodbye, everyone.